This is Brian Mayer, host of Hot Sauce Weekly, and you are listening to BCRN, all barbecue and grilling all the time.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Welcome to the Barbecue Central Show, the show where we talk about all things that are important in the world of barbecue. From big-name interviews with competitors on the barbecue circuit, grill manufacturers and pit makers, to advice on cooking brisket and ribs. You'll find it all right here on the Barbecue Central Show. Your host, Greg Rempe, is a backyard barbecue and grilling fanatic and loves to talk about his passion, which many of us share together. You can learn more about barbecue and grilling by visiting the website, thebbqcentral.com. Now, let's get in the smoke. Here's your program host, Greg Rempe.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Barbecue Central Show. There we go. Yep. This is the show that talks about all things important to the world of barbecue and grilling. We originate from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. In small circles around the northwestern part of Ohio, it's known as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city. Dare I say, the barbecue capital of the North Coast, Cleveland, Ohio. I am your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on a Wednesday. If you want to call in tonight, you want to get something off your chest, you want to call a shot, you want to have a take about outdoor live fire cooking in general, you can do it one of two ways. You can dial in toll-free at any point, 877-448-0433. You can also email the show if you would like. Greg, 1G, G-R-E-G, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Or again, the toll-free number, 7-448-0433. Again, happy to have you aboard here on a Wednesday. Here's what's happening on the show tonight. Just in case you were wondering, if you don't get a subscription to the weekly newsletter, which can be found at thebbqcentralshow.com/letter. And then you will be informed ahead of everybody else. But about 14 minutes from now, we're going to be joined by Joe Beland. He is the pitmaster of the Tippy Canoe BBQ Crew competition team, headed down to the Jack Daniels, and that is taking place this weekend, in case you forgot. So we'll be talking to him. He's a first-time competitor. We'll get some insight about the nerves that might be there, what his game plan is, all that great stuff. So Joe Beland coming up about 35 past the hour. Regular guest, Ted Reeder, Canadian barbecue and grilling expert. I believe he's authored 758 million cookbooks. He is a plank grilling master, and he is always good for recipes. And a favorite of mine to interview, very professional, a lot of great anecdotes. Ted Reeder, tedreeder.com is his website. If you don't know who he is, you can check him out before we talk to him at 35 past. Then we have the fourth segment, Free for All, for your chance to win fun and succulent prizes to include frog mats, El Capitan's Santa Maria-style barbecue seasoning, wood smoke products from Greenleaf Barbecue, a Cosmos Q injection pack, which has either injections or soaks, whatever you prefer, and some elk rub from the good folks over at Easy Hooks, and that website is bbqhooks.com. Then, second hour, we're going to be checking in briefly with the boys over at wiredbbq.com. They're going to be the people that are covering the Jack Daniels live via webcast, so we'll hook up again with Phil Costanzo. And then rounding out the second hour, Mike Bertelson of Cowboy Cauldron. And if you want to get some head start info on that, cowboycauldron.com is the website. Very unique product, has everything to do with live fire outdoor grilling. 877-448-0433 is the toll-free number if you want to jump in. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com is the email address. All right, let me get this out of the way. I was shot an email yesterday, and I wanted to make a special mention of this particular item. Look, I'm a very big fan of anything that has to do, as I'm sure you are, with supporting the troops that are fighting the war on terror. However general that statement is, as far as the war on channel terror, I'm down with whatever supports these troops, because they're out there doing what we have chosen not to do. Remember, our Army is volunteer, and these people have put themselves in harm's way, undoubtedly. There are casualties abound. Many don't seem to get reported a lot on the news for whatever reason, but a guy by the name of Brig Arnold has created a very unique cookbook, and it's called Dinner with Warriors. And each page features a serviceman or woman who has either passed away or severely injured during this war. They or their family members have sent in a few pictures of them, their biography or story, and of course their favorite recipes. And the idea behind this cookbook was to find a way to introduce America to a few of their heroes. Look, Brig was frustrated with hearing the news just kind of mention that soldiers have died, but often not even mentioning their names, for crying out loud. One of his close friends was severely injured, and the lack of coverage really saddened him. Brig wanted to raise some money for some of the great charities out there that help these men and women and their families, and he donates all of the net proceeds to a few different charities. So far, they have donated to the Wounded Warrior Project, Children of Fallen Soldiers Relief Fund, TAPS, which is the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, and Homes for Our Troops. I know a lot of Centralites feel the same way as I do about our troops, as I said there in the open. You guys also like cookbooks. I know if you're somebody or you're a foodie, you love to have, you can never have too many cookbooks is basically what I'm trying to say. So here's a way to help the troops and get something out of it as well for your use for many years to come. Please take a minute to visit Dinner with Warriors, and that's plural, dinnerwithwarriors.com. Pick up a copy of the cookbook. I'm going to do it myself. Brig, great job on this. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. And again, I'm always happy to promote and let people know about what's going on when it's positive to support the troops that are out there either on the home front or abroad. Again, that website, dinnerwithwarriors.com. Be sure to check it out and pick up a copy of this book because you're going to be helping out. You're going to be getting something in return, which is not very altruistic of everybody, but if you want to get something for your money, who doesn't love a great cookbook? Could make a great gift as well. So there you go. Also, wanted to make a special mention of good friends of the show, Heath and Brett from Pork Barrel Barbecue. Heath just shot me a note. Said, Greg, I promised that you would be one of the first people we shared some big Pork Barrel Barbecue news with, and here it is. Men's Health Magazine has just named us one of the 125 best foods for men. The best damn barbecue sauce in their November 2010 issue. It's on stands this week, so congratulations to Heath and Brent over at porkbarrelbbq.com. That's the website. You can buy all their sauces and rubs there, too. I just did a very, very small catering job for a fall softball league that my daughter was playing in. I cooked up 4 8-pound pork butts, and I used the Pork Barrel Barbecue rub on that to rave reviews. It has easily become one of my favorite rubs to use. It has a great smell, great taste to it, great flavor. Here's what I've come to find out in my college class, anatomy and physiology too. Taste plus olfaction equals flavor, baby, yeah! Go ahead, you can use it, parties. Press your friends and pick up hot chicks. Taste plus olfaction, that's smelling for you lames, equals flavor. So again, congratulations to Heath and Brett over at Pork Barrel Barbecue, continuing to rack up the awards over there. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Jack Daniel's World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off is happening this weekend. So if you want to get in and email your pick, go ahead and call your shot. You can do so over on the Facebook page. You can Twitter at me at BBQ Central Show if you want to. You can also email it in, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Or you can call in if I have the opportunity to take your call. I'll be more than happy to do that as well. And you can call your shot that way. And that's toll free at 877-448-0433. Again, quick reminder about the Ribolator. Look, we're sick and tired of being relegated to the old big spit rod and motor where you can do only whole chickens and only big cuts of beef. Forget about it. I'm done being trapped in the rotisserie box. I want out, and that's why I have been looking at the Ribolator and been using the Ribolator. In fact, it's so popular you have to get on a waiting list, so don't wait any more seconds of your precious life. Head on over to Ribolator, L-A-T-O-R, Ribolator.com, and then use the email or contact page on that website to get in touch with the owner, Bob Garnash, and get hooked up on the waiting list for your next round of Ribolators. You won't be disappointed that you did 4 trays that rotate in a Ferris wheel type fashion, only limited by your imagination. Ribbolator.com. We're going to step away. We come back with Joe Beland from Tippy Canoe BBQ Crew. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Radio Network.
Barbecue fans travel from all over the country and the world to learn the secrets of real pit barbecue from Grand Champion Pitmaster Conrad Haskins. Now take your skills to the next level with a Barbecue Institute Pitmaster class. You'll learn how to make sauces, rubs, and smoke mouth-watering barbecue every time you cook. Your new skills will impress friends and family. Internet forums, blogs, and Facebook are full of success stories from our graduates. Upcoming classes locations include Rock City Rib Fest, Rochester, New York, Lexington, Massachusetts, Lang Factory Test Kitchen in Georgia, Fort Worth, Texas, Fredericksburg, Texas, Houston, Texas, Monroe, Washington, and Kennewick, Washington. For more information, class dates, and contests we'll be competing in, visit www.bbqclass.com. That's bbqclass.com.
Centralites, you having marriage troubles? Your kid's unruly and don't listen? Then you need the Ribbolator, because great barbecue will always bring the family together, and the Ribbolator always cooks great award-winning barbecue. You can try it free for 30 days, and if your family life doesn't improve, just send it back. Ribbolator even pays return shipping. But you need to take that first step. Visit Ribbolator.com to get started or call 206-999-0962. Don't you deserve a happy barbecue family?
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome back, 14 past the hour. This is the Barbecue Central Show, brought to you by Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. They are the leading online retailer of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment. Their barbecue smokers and grills are handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, helping you enjoy easy and, most importantly, profitable barbecues for years to come. You can find them on the interwebs. Serious BBQs, that's plural, SeriousBBQs.com. It's the good folks over at Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. All right, my first guest tonight is heading down to the Jack Daniel's World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off, literally, where he will be giving it a go for the very first time this coming weekend. They are currently ranked 12th overall for the KCBS points race this year. Hails from a state that is quickly becoming known as one of the newest hotbeds of competition barbecue. So let's go ahead and race over to the phone. Punch up pitmaster of Tippy Canoe BBQ Crew, Joe Beland. Joe, how are you tonight, buddy?
Great, Greg. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Joe, got a lot of things to cover here during the segment, so let's go ahead and get right at it. As I had mentioned there in the open, you're headed down to Jack Daniel's, but perhaps for the people that might not be as intimately familiar with you guys as some of the other guys on the competition barbecue circuit, where's the background and how you get in this whole competition barbecue scene, Joe?
Oh, great. We're actually sitting at a truck stop in Nashville, so we're about an hour out. Been on the road about 12 hours, so been a long day, but it's been a great day. We're excited, ready to get rolling. We started cooking several years ago. We a bunch of our friends bought campers, so we had to follow along with that. Bought a camper, and about one day of sitting around the campsite, I decided, you know what, I can't do this much longer without something else to do. So ran uptown, bought a smoker, and that's kind of where it all started. Cooking for friends and family, and they ate a lot of mediocre barbecue along the way, and thought we got pretty good at it. So we entered a backyard competition in the fall of 2008, and the guys who cook with me pretty regularly say, okay, if we do well here, you've got to enter a real competition if we do well. So we won that competition, that backyard competition, and we entered 2 KCBS contests yet that fall, and kind of took off from there, created an animal, and it's grown from there. We cooked 16 contests last year, and this weekend will be the Jack will be the last of our events this year, and it'll be number 21, I believe, for 2010.
So a decent amount this year. We're talking with Joe Beland, Tippy Canoe BBQ Pitmaster. Joe, I'm always fascinated by team names. Where does Tippy Canoe BBQ Crew stem from?
Well, when we first started this, we were struggling coming up with a name, and I wanted to do something a little different. And our oldest daughter, and nobody remembers the story, but her nickname for a long time when she was young was Tippy Canoe. We called her some version of Tippy Canoe or Tippy or something along those lines. So Tippy Canoe is my daughter. So if you see us along the contest trail, I'm not Tippy. That would be the pretty teenager walking around with me.
There you go, Joe. What are you guys cooking on right now?
We're cooking on backwoods smokers. That's really the first real smoker I had after experimenting with some of the Menards and Walmart brands. Was a backwoods party, and we've stuck with that. I've got a backwoods party I cook chicken on, and we're cooking the three other meats on a backwoods fat boy with the Guru. So love the cookers, love the Guru. Really do a great job for us. Joe
Beland is my guest. Joe, how did you guys actually qualify for the Jack this year?
Well, we were taking a family vacation. My sister lives in California. We're in north central Iowa. My sister lives out in Los Angeles, and we decided that we'd go see her and do the Great American Family road trip. Load up the kids and then head across the country. And about the time my wife got that planned for the week and we took our time off work, I happened to look at the KCBS website and saw there was an event near Salt Lake City, Utah. On the weekend, we'd be coming home. And I looked at the map, and it was 60 miles out of the way to stop in Salt Lake City and cook this contest. And I did a little more research, figured out it was the only state championship contest in Utah in 2010. So it was going to be an automatic to the Jack. Couldn't pass up the opportunity. Put a couple posts out on the Barbecue Brethren, and about 18 hours later, I had all the equipment I needed. Stopped in on the way home from vacation on borrowed equipment, and was fortunate enough to come out of there with a win.
Wow, awesome. Joe Beland of Tippy Canoe BBQ Crew joining us here on the Barbecue Central radio show. Joe, as a team who has been having a very good year, as you guys have, what's your mindset for the Jack Daniels? You cooking like you would normally on any given weekend, or do you change it up because of how diverse the judging tent's palates are going to be?
We're going to take the advice of everybody I've talked to, and we're going to cook what got us here. And we've been on quite a run. We won 5 contests since June 1st, finished out of the top 5, I think, 3 times out of our last 16 events. So we're gonna cook what brought us, and see how that brings us. Obviously, the one difference would be the white meat chicken. Now, I don't normally cook white meat chicken, so we're gonna do breast, boneless, skinless breast, and cut them up and see how that goes. But I've given that a lot of thought about changing stuff up, and we're decided not to do that. We cook in a pretty diverse area, and we cooked in maybe 7 states this year. So granted, all in the Midwest, but we did smoke on the water in Little Rock this spring, and kind of saw how our stuff did down there. And other than the category we wrecked, we did pretty well there. So I think we're gonna stick with what we got.
Joe Beland joining us. You kind of dovetailed nicely into the white meat question that I had for you. Said you're going to go with the white meat breast. Anything that you're going to do special, strategy-wise, to keep it as moist as possible for the judges to sample?
Yeah, we're going to undercook it. Quite frankly, we're going to make sure it's safe to eat, make sure it's done. But at the same time, I've been practicing white meat chicken. I'm quite frankly very tired of eating it. But we've been practicing it quite a bit, and I think I've got a system down. We're going to brine it to make sure we get some moisture in it and some flavor in it, and we're going to pull it fairly early, slice it up, keep it together in the box is the plan, so we can keep as much heat in it as possible. We've done a lot of practicing with cutting up chicken breast and throwing them in a box and letting them sit on the counter for 15 minutes and then dive in and eat. And I feel okay about what we're going to do there. In fact, I've threatened a couple times over the last month to throw a little white meat in some of our boxes as we've been practicing the competition. So we'll see what happens.
Joe, I've heard from a lot of teams that go down for the first time that it's very easy to get caught up in a lot of the goings-on down there in Lynchburg, which can lead to your schedule getting compromised when it comes to the prep work. Have you made any special plans to guard against that?
One of the things that maybe not intentionally, but one of the things we're going to have going on, I'm going to have half of the town of St. Ansgar, Iowa, with me. I'm going to have to, if nothing else, we'll have the largest cheering section. We're going to have something close to 19 people come and go throughout the weekend. So I'm going to let them do a lot of that stuff, and that's kind of been my plan. Kind of what I've got in mind is I'm going to get up early Friday and prep. like I normally do. I like to get to the contest early anyway, so obviously we'll be there. So we're gonna get up early, get the prep done, so I can partake in some of the stuff Friday afternoon. But for the most part, I'm gonna let some of my guests do some of those extra activities and enjoy that part of it. And I'm gonna try to focus on cooking while having a fun time and taking it all in at the same time. But I think you're right. That'll be a good balance. A lot of new teams there this year, and I think that'll be something that everybody's gonna have to keep in mind.
Joe Beland of Tippy Canoe BBQ Crew joining us here on the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Joe, there seems to be that recurring conversation amongst some pitmasters as to what event they would rather win during the course of a calendar year, or perhaps even during their barbecue career, the American Royal Invitational or the Jack Daniel's World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off. Which one, aside from both, do you think is best to get as the win in your career as you do this whole competition cooking thing, the Invitational or the Jack Daniel's?
I think, and again, I'm fairly new to this game, but from what I've been around with the last couple of years and the research I've done, and just me personally, it's the Jacks. That's the end-all, be-all, the granddaddy. That's the one. It's hard to get into. In my opinion, it's the most prestigious event. Whether it should be or not, I guess, is up for discussion. But I think it is right now, and that's the one that's on my radar. We were reserve grand champs 2 weeks ago in the American Royal Invitational, and while that felt great, and that was quite an accomplishment, and certainly our biggest accomplishment as a barbecue team. This weekend would certainly erase all those memories, I think, just from the way I've got it played out in my mind anyway.
Now, you've seen the field that you're going to be going up against this coming weekend, Joe. If it's not you, how do you think it's lined up for the best, or how do you think it's lined up for the team with the best shot at winning this thing?
I thought about that, looking through the list, and had the full 13 or 14-hour drive today, and you look through the names on that list, pretty impressive. You look at there's probably a 50% chance a Q-Owl, a Pellet Envy, Rhythm and Q, Cool Smoke. One of those teams comes away with a win. I think there's a great chance one of those consistent week in, week out winners pulls this off this weekend. And I got to look inside my own state and look at my neighbors that are coming down here with me, and the Swine Assassins. You look at their last 3 weeks. It goes something like Marshall, Minnesota, sweep all 4 categories, get first place in all 4 categories. Then they go to the American Royal, get 6th in the Invitational and reserve in the Open. That's their last 3 cooks. That's pretty amazing. You think about it. So I think they'll give everybody a run for their money there. And then my buddy Ryan with Big T's Q Crew, been on fire since he started cooking. 2 years ago, he basically started the same time we did, and just been lights out, and he's been hot here this fall. I know he didn't have the weekend he wanted at the Royal, and I think he'll bring his A game this weekend as well. So it's gonna be an impressive slate of cooks coming out there. There's no doubt about that. If I had to pick a team, I'm gonna pick Parrot Head. I think John with Parrot Head Smokers. He started hot, cooled off a little mid-year, and he's got it back rolling again. So, and he always shows well at the Jack. So I think I'd put my money on him if I had to.
Joe, last thought before I let you go. It seems that the state of Iowa has grown into this new hotbed of competition barbecue. A lot of teams out there hailing from that state, really kind of making a run at competition barbecue right now. What gives out there?
It's been fun. I think a big part of it is there's a lot of new teams. There's a lot of new contests in Iowa the last several years, and quite frankly, I think the level of competition drives that. Guys like me got tired of getting my butt kicked by Iowa Smoky D's and Big T's and 4 Mile Fred, and the list goes on, and decided I've either got to get better or I'm gonna quit. And quite frankly, it kind of helps. I think it helps everybody focus when week in, week out. That's what you're going to have to run up against, some of the best in the country, and you got to put your best effort out in Iowa, or you're going to get smoked. And that's kind of driven me, and we all know how to have a good time, and there's a great nothing better than Iowa barbecue as far as folks say, just barbecue in general. People helping each other out, that kind of stuff, cheering for each other, but at the same time, we all want to win every weekend. So great state to cook. That'd be the one plug I'd have if you're looking for a place to cook in 2011. Come check out some Iowa contests. We'd love to have you.
Joe Beland is the pitmaster of Tippy Canoe BBQ Crew, first-timers at this weekend's Jack Daniel's World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off. Joe, good luck this weekend, and thanks for coming on tonight. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Greg.
All right, take care. There he is. Joe Beland, baby. First-timers, man. Man. Did I just say man twice? That's not good. Got to be nerve-wracking. Going to see a lot of people out there that are kind of, as he had mentioned, the weekend out competitors standing atop many of the sanctioning bodies that they are representing, whether it be KCBS. A lot of people up on top there. A lot of top 10, a lot of top 20 people going to be at that place there for the KCBS. Of course, you got the top team of the Memphis Barbecue Network, Yazoo's Delta Q. Never can count them out. I like all of his picks that he had mentioned there, trying to skirt the fine line until he hammered down John Nilgis with Parrot Head Smokers, and who can argue against that one as well. Really one of the best qualifying Jack Daniels as far as top teams actually being in and not sitting out on the sidelines that I can remember, at least in recent memory. So there you go. You can weigh in as well, 877-448-0433. You can also email your picks for the Jack this weekend, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. You can Twitter at the BBQ Central Show, or you can hit me up on Facebook. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, one of my favorite guests, recurring guests ever, Canadian barbecue and grilling expert, Jack Daniels master, plank grilling extraordinaire man. I'm run out of adjectives. Ted Reeder, just an all-around great guy, somebody you want to pound and shotgun and beer bong beers with. So we'll step away real quick, and we'll come back with Teddy. Halloween recipes, cold weather grilling tips. Maybe you're shutting down your grill and barbecue for the season. We'll make fun of you for doing that. Stick around. It's Rempy and you right here on the Barbecue Central Show.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
34 past the hour. Welcome back. This is the Barbecue Central Show, presented by D-Dog's Barbecue Rub, now offering free shipping on all orders at DDOGSBBQ.com. They also have 2 new products to choose from, a Texas-style barbecue sauce and a jalapeno rib glaze. By the way, did I mention free shipping? That's right, baby. Go on and order something today. You'll be glad you did. DDogsBBQ.com for the free shipping. And as we all know by now, D-Dog's Barbecue Rub is better than ketchup, baby. All right, my next guest is a regular contributor here to the show. He is a Canadian barbecue and grilling expert. He is a multiple-time author. Quite frankly, he has planked everything that the world could possibly think of. Most importantly, he's a great friend of the show, so we head on over to the hotline and welcome in from the Windy City as we find him here, Ted Reeder. Ted, how are you tonight, buddy?
Good. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing excellent, Ted. How are things in the Windy City of Chicago?
I am in Chicago. I'm sitting in a restaurant with a good buddy of mine, Bradley, and we were eating at a restaurant called Aria and just getting ready to sit down to have some dinner. So I'm pretty happy. Can't complain for Wednesday night in the Windy City.
Nothing says getting ready for a great dinner like taking time out to contribute to the Barbecue Central radio show, right?
I like my good friends in the world of barbecue.
Hey, that's right. Okay, Ted, a couple of things that we wanted to talk about here tonight before we cut you loose to go to dinner is, of course, for those of us that are out there that actually experience the thermal changes during the course of the year, we have these things called seasons. And a lot of people might think that the barbecue and grilling season has come to an end, and they're actually looking to shut down and store the grills or barbecue. So for those people that want to do that, and aside from being completely ignorant, and we'll make fun of them later, any tips on how to properly shut it down until maybe the spring next year?
Well, I actually want to make fun of them now because you should never shut down your grills and your smokers for the winter. I mean, it's just foolish people do that. I mean, how can you not want to have a grilled steak or some smoked pork shoulder, or some smoked ribs, or a brisket that's been smoked for 24 hours in the winter? I mean, barbecue is a passion, and we never, if you are a diehard barbecue lover, you don't shut them down. If you do want to shut them down, the first thing you got to do is you got to clean them inside and out. Clean them right down, cover them up, tie it tight, keep them dry, keep the moisture and the humidity out of those grills and smokers. That's what you got to do. But the bottom line is it's a lot easier to keep them fired up and get out there. Put some long johns on, wear a toque, get some gloves, put on a couple layers of clothing, and get out in your backyard and fire it up. That's what it's all about. There is no shutting down in the world of barbecue. We are 365, 24/7, every day, in and out, fire it up, get it hot, smoke it up, and enjoy it.
Ted Reeder joining us here on the show. Ted, so that kind of dovetails nicely into the next question, which is for those of us that actually do it year-round and are going to be heading into winter season here over the next 4, 5, 6 months, depending on where you're at. Cold weather grilling and barbecue tips, and I believe you just mentioned one with layering of the clothing as you're out there, but what are some other things we might want to keep in mind as the colder weather approaches?
Well, for what I do, because I'm based out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we get some pretty cold winters in the city of Toronto, I actually tent my backyard. I put a 500 square foot tent over part of the backyard that keeps the snow off of my grills and my smokers, so that it makes it just a little bit easier for me over the season to get out there and cook. And I just want to keep the snow off, because the snow becomes a big deterrent. You see everything covered in snow, you don't want to deal with it. So I put up a tent, and I don't have to deal with the snow. I go out there at any time. I put some heaters in my tent, some propane heaters, so that it keeps me a little bit warmer. But I've decked out my garage, which is right off the back of my patio, where all my grills and smokers are. And in my garage, I got a couch. I got my beer fridge. I got my draft fridge. I got a flat screen TV and a DVD player. I've got everything that needs to be in there to make my life nice and simple. I got the music blaring, and I got the food cooking. And that's what you need to keep, is get it organized so that you make it nice and simple. When you're going to cook things, you want to be organized. And when you're cooking in the winter, keeping yourself nice and simple is the most important thing. Get it done fast and keep yourself warm. Also, propane heaters, electric heaters in your garage will keep you nice and warm. But never, ever, ever, ever smoke or grill indoors. Dangerous, you'll kill yourself.
Carbon monoxide has been known to kill people, I've heard.
Yeah, it's one of those things you just got to stay away from.
Now, what do you have? Are there any things in specific that one would need to keep in mind, especially not so much with the propane, but with charcoal and colder weather?
One thing is making sure that your charcoal stays dry. You don't want to have any humidity or moisture getting into that charcoal, which will take a lot longer for it to get up to temperature and burn. So I keep my charcoal, actually I move my charcoal into my basement where it stays nice. It's at a nice level temperature, and I'm not dealing with the cold. And then when I put it in my charcoal chimneys, I get a nice fire burning, nice and quick and hot. and then it's just going from there. You need to regulate. You may have to check that fuel source and add more charcoal as you need throughout the winters because of the cold. It may burn down a little bit faster. But bottom line is, keep it dry. It's going to burn just fine in the wintertime.
Ted Reeder joining us here on the show. TedReeder.com is his website. You can check out all the products that he has to offer, and there are quite a bit of products out there, so be sure to check that website out. Ted, we have Halloween coming up here in roughly a week and a half time. Any particular recipes that you fancy for this particular time? Do they even have Halloween up in Canada, for crying out loud?
Oh, yeah, we have Halloween, but actually this I'm going to be in Mexico, so we're going to talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing while I'm sitting on the beach in Playa del Carmen, relaxing on the sand and having some fun with my family, because it's quite important, that you take a bit of a vacation and rejuvenate. So for this year's Halloween, while I'll be in Mexico, it will be a tequila night. We're going to put aside my favorite friend called Jack Daniels, who I truly, truly love and believe is the best beverage on the face of the earth. But I'm going to switch it up for the time that I'm in Playa in Mexico and strictly drink 100% agave tequila. Now, I don't believe in margaritas. I believe in just straight shots of tequila because it goes straight through the system and gets you feeling good. Now, we do candy, and I've planked Twinkies in the past.
Right.
But while in Mexico, there's some sweet things that you want to do. But I'm going to base things around avocado. And I'm going to take some avocados, I'm going to cut them in half, I'm going to stuff them with crab and shrimp and Caribbean-style lobster. And I'm going to bake them on the grill. And I'm going to dive in, and that avocado is going to be moist and creamy and hot and just sweet. And I tell you, avocado as an aphrodisiac, the sex will be unbelievable on top of that all.
Sex therapist.
So once you get into that, that's all you need to know.
That's right. Sex therapist Ted Reeder joining us here on the show. So any other Southern Mexican-type recipes that you can share with us that you might be getting into while you're down there?
Well, I'm going to be focusing on a lot of I've been to Mexico a few times, and I've enjoyed, and then what I like is the fresh seafood. I love my chili and my hot sauce. In fact, this past week I was canning at home, and I'd smoked off half a bushel of red jalapenos, made my own chipotles, and then I took maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup, by the way, straight from the province of the Belle Province of Quebec, and I made a maple chipotle barbecue sauce that is absolutely wicked. Now, this is not available online. This is just something that I make for friends and family. And Greg, you're going to have to send me your address, and I'll send you down a jar of this barbecue sauce that's made from the jalapenos. That is actually a concentrate. You pour this in, you add a few things to it, some ingredients, and you twist it and you change it, and you make it into what you want it to be. But it is a barbecue base. And I'm going to take those treats, and I'm going to take them with me to Mexico, and I'm just going to cook what's fresh, what's local, and what comes to mind. And there's no plan. It's freewheeling, and I'm going to go with the way of the agave and the tequila.
There you go, and I'm going to get you my address, ASAFP. And again, this is Ted Reeder. TedReeder.com is his website. Ted, I appreciate you taking time out for the show tonight. I'll turn you loose and go have that dinner, and we'll talk to you again next month.
Thank you, Greg. Everybody out there, just make sure that when you're grilling, when you're barbecuing, you're having a super great time. And take it easy. Low and slow is the way to go, and a shot of Jack just makes it go even better.
All right, Dad. Take care, buddy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There he is. What can you say about that guy? He's a beauty. He's a classic. I'm going to have Ted Reeder Hour coming up here in a future show. You can guarantee it. Love Ted Reeder. That guy's going to be making... I found that avocado is one of the coolest things ever. If I can get avocado in something, I'm going to do it. My wife makes an avocado compound butter that we make aside with our steak. And it's freaking fantastic. Never mind. Okay, TedReeder.com is the website again. Your chance to win right now, Central Lights. It's the 4-segment free-for-all coming up out of the break. 877-448-0433 for your chance to win fun and succulent prizes. Second hour, Mike Bertelson and WiredBBQ.com. Stand by. You're listening to the Barbecue Central radio show right here on the Barbecue Central Radio Network.
Forget going from site to site to get all of your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and egg accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred's also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber, as well as a full line of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. And you can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichlin of Barbecue U fame. Check out Fred on the web at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Introducing Cosmos Q. Cosmos Q injections and marinades use only the finest ingredients, and they mix easily, never clotting or caking. From our beef injection to our pork injection, you're guaranteed to wow your friends, family, and judges. And don't forget to check out our Cosmos Chicken Soak for that moist and tender chicken you're gonna love.
And don't forget about Cosmo's new pork soak and rubs.
You can find us at cosmosq.com and select retailers across the nation. For quality injections, marinades, and rubs, it's Cosmos Q.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back, 49 past the hour. 11 minutes till the hour of 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This portion of the show brought to you by the good folks over at the Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic pit temperature control devices. Not to mention a host of other products that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. Special mention, they're going to be competing at the Jack Daniels, baby. Yeah! Good luck to Bob Trudnak and those guys. Two ways to find them, 800-288-GURU, G-U-R-U, 800-288-GURU. We're on the interwebs at thebbqguru.com. Yeah, you know what time it is. Let's play the fourth segment. Free for all, yeah! Hey, everybody. Harry Carey here. Happy to have you on a Wednesday. Looking forward to giving away some free prizes. Didn't do it last week. I was on hiatus. I don't even know who hiatus is, but I was on it. Okay, bad joke. I'm sorry about that.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Here's how we play the game. I'm going to pick up the phone line. I'm going to ask you if you want to answer. Oh, by the way, please pay attention. We're making a quick change to the game. I'm going to either ask you barbecue questions or sports questions. What goes together like hand and glove? Sports and barbecue. That's right, I should know. I used to call Cubs games when I was alive. Okay, here's how it's going to go. I'm going to ask you sports or barbecue, and then you have 5 seconds to answer each question, culminating potentially in you winning a fun and succulent prize. Sounds easy to me. Let's go to the phone line. Here we go. Area code 816. Name and where you're calling from.
Yeah.
Who's this?
This is James Booker.
Hey, James, how are you?
Hey, pretty good, man. Just going down the road.
James, would you like to play the game, James?
Sure.
All right, would you like sports questions or barbecue questions?
Give me some barbecue questions.
Okay, James, here we go. First question. Give me the proper barbecue grilling temperatures.
What? For what? What meat? What kind of meat?
It's the temperature you keep your pit at, James. Come on.
220.
220 it is. All right, second question, James. Name the iron or aluminum piece that sits where your meat sits on your grill.
The grate?
That's right, the grate. You're 2 for 2, James. Third question for your chance to win a prize. James, you excited?
I sure am.
I know I am. Okay, James, here we go. Third question. Can you name the American Royal Open winner 2 weeks ago?
No, I cannot. I am sorry.
I'm sorry, James. Maybe you should know who the American Royal Open winner is. if you're going to call into the first segment free-for-all. Sorry about that, James. Okay, we go to area code 515. Name and where you're calling from. Hello, go ahead. Hello? Guess what?
Get that big stuff out of here.
You got to be ready if you're going to call into the fourth segment free-for-all. I'm a man of little patience, even in littler intelligence. Area code 515, name and where you're calling from. Area code 515, go ahead. Get out of here.
Get that big stuff.
Don't you call back, scumbag. Harry Carey's on a tirade right now. I'm a man that can eat another man's ear off if pushed the right positions. You push my buttons, pal, and it's go time. All right, 877-448-0433. I have an absolutely full prize closet. I have been given the reins to give everything away if possible. Or until I run out of time. You tell me which one would come first. I don't know. All right, again, 877-448-0433 is the number to call. By the way, if you're interested in hanging around for the second hour, I have a piece of paper right here in front of me. It says that we will be joined by Phil Costanzo. Is he related to George? George Costanzo? Never mind. And then after that, we'll be joined by Mike Bertelson of the Cowboy Cauldron Company. Cowboy Cauldron. Somehow that sounds evil to me. That's because I'm a warrior. That's why my friends call me Whiskers. It's because I'm crazy like a cat. Okay. We seem to be running out of people trying to call in and win free prizes. I don't understand. Don't you like free prizes? Wouldn't you like to say to your friend or your lady friend, hey, lady friend, guess what I just did? I don't know. What did you just do? That was my impression of your lady friend. Well, lady friend, I just happened to win a fun and succulent prize on the Barbecue Central radio show. Oh, let me take you into the bedroom and show you what a real man can do. Okay. Area code 281, name and where you're calling from.
This is Evans, calling from Houston.
Hey, Evan, how are you, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Evan, would you like sports or barbecue questions tonight?
I think I'm calling for barbecue.
All right, here we go. First question, Evan. Can you name the proper pit temperature for true barbecue?
Everybody knows that would be 220.
That's right, 220. And then you got that right, Evan. Okay, second question, Evan. To go 2 for 2 and then potentially 3 for 3 for a prize. Can you name the most popular brand of charcoal?
Of lump charcoal?
No, just charcoal in general.
Probably Kingsford.
That's right, Kingsford it is, 2 for 2. Evan, this is your chance to win a prize if you answer this third question correctly. Evan, are you excited?
I know you are.
I know I am too, Evan. That's right. I can't believe it. All right, Evan, here we go. Third question. Evan, can you tell me who the American Royal Invitational winner was 2 weeks ago?
The Invitational.
Yes.
No, I can't. It wasn't Mike Davis. It wasn't. I can't.
It rhymes. It rhymes with Joker's Mild.
Well, the team was Smokers Wild, but I don't know the pitmaster.
That doesn't matter. I just want a team name. Evan, you win. Good for you. All right, so Evan, you can pick between Frog Mat, some El Capitan, Santa Maria style barbecue seasoning, wood smoke price.
You know, that's me right there.
El Capitan.
He'll cook me up.
All right, El Capitan is what you're going to get. So just email me the shipping info, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com, and he will get it out to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks for calling in tonight, Evan. Beat it. How would I rate this call? I have no idea how I'd rate this call. As far as I'm concerned, this thing has gone downhill ever since I've taken the air. I have the numbers to prove it. All right, so congratulations to Evan, our only winner. And quite frankly, he's lucky that I'm getting a lot softer in my old age and dropping the hammer. 10 years ago, I would have told that guy to pound salt.
Get that big stuff out of here.
But now I've mellowed later in my dead years. I'm not as nasty as I used to be. Just ask Steve Stone. I used to take pot shots at the newsroom that were sitting next to me when I was calling the games. I was known as right-hand man. That's because I could throw a punch and turn your lights out in a second. All right, I'm out of here. See you later, bitches. All right, there we go. Another successful 4-segment free-for-all. Looks like we got a winner. Evan with the El Capitan barbecue seasoning. It's a great stuff. Gotta say, one of my favorite all-time seasonings ever on the face of the earth. Want to thank my second segment guest, Joe Beland from Tippy Canoe BBQ Crew. Going to be doing their first time down at the Jack Daniels World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off, taking place this very weekend. So good luck to him, Joe. Hope you do well, buddy. Also to Ted Reeder, tedreeder.com, giving you some Mexican-style barbecue tips. Avocado, stuffed lobster, leading to some type of sex, I think. I think he was saying if you made that, you get laid, pretty much. So sex advice, not only barbecue advice, but sex advice on the Barbecue Central show. Don't forget, coming up here after the news break, Phil Costanzo of WiredBBQ.com talking about them webcasting the Jack, then Mike Bertelson of Cowboy Cauldron. Stick around. We'll be right back. It's Rampy and You on the Barbecue Central radio show.